This video I'm showing how I do a Hexafish loom band bracelet using a mini knitting loom instead of the usual monster tail or the rainbow loom. So you have one of these, circular, and obviously you can see there's less pins, there's 6 on this rather than the 8 that you've got on this one. And because, if you can see there, the gaps are a bit smaller, so if you use, say, either one of these, you'll find with some of them that the hook doesn't go in as nicely in this one, so you need to use a smaller one. So you can either use one of these, which you get in most packets, or a crochet hook, but just use a smaller one. This is a 2mm. Right, to get started, what you do is you take some colours that aren't going to be a part of the bracelet. This is so these will be different colours, so these will show up because these are the ones that you get rid of at the end. So what you do is you cross these over all the way around the loom. So as you're going round, you're putting it on and then twisting it over the next peg. And you do this all the way around until it meets at the other side. So they start off with, you should end up with your loom looking like that. You can see where it crosses. And then you take the first colour that you want and you just pull it around all the pegs. You don't twist it or anything. And then you take your hook and take the bottom 2 bands of the colour that you're getting rid of and hook this over. And you can push all that down. And then you take the next colour in your pattern, which for me is going to be another silver. And then you just hook the one that you've already put on over the top. This time it's just 1 band. Yeah, if you do accidentally miss one, you can just take the top one off and repair it and then put it back, like I just did. So then you're again left with just 1 band all the way around. And then you pick your next colour and you put it all the way around. So from now on, each one is going to be just all the way around and then the bottom band hooked over until you get to the end. So my next colour was blue, and then I'm doing another blue because I'm doing it in a pattern of 2 bands each time, just to make a slightly thicker stripe. So again, I just put that round and pulled the bands over. And you end up with that familiar, if you've done it before, pattern starting there like a little cobweb, and it starts to come through here. So I'm going to pause there until I get to the end and then show you how I finish this one off, and then go back and finish the other end. Once you've loomed as long as you want to get it, you'll end up with something that looks like this. This is before stretching, because for this one you stretch it out a bit just to pull it into shape. So it's a little bit wider when it first comes out, so you just basically stretch it like that. Should be able to take a fair bit of stretching, but obviously don't go crazy. And then you can see it wraps around the wrist like that. So what I do now to finish it off is I lift one from one peg to the next peg, and then the next one onto the next peg, and then the next one like that. So you'll end up with a triangle. And then on each one I lift the bottom one over until there's one on each peg, and then I just lift those onto one peg. And then you can use your hook to remove it from the peg. And then I take 2 bands and pull that through those. Just be careful with this bit, you don't want to drop them now. And then once you've got that through there, just get your S clip or your C clip and just pull it through, make sure you've got all the bands in. Oops. And then you can drop your hook. So now you get these colours, you see how these show up, and you pull it through the centre and then just pick up each one of your silver bands or whatever colour you've used, which can be a bit fiddly, but, and then you put one onto each hook, onto each pin, sorry. Right, once you've got all of your bracelet colours on, you can get rid of these because they're not needed anymore. So, just get yourself a pair of scissors and carefully, making sure you don't get any of the actual bracelet ones, just cut those bands away. You can always do this afterwards if you want, but I just prefer to get them out of the way so I can see what I'm doing better. Right, so now you're back. So you're at the end of the bracelet, even though it's sort of the beginning. And once again, just move each band 1 peg across until you've just got 3. And then just get your bottom band and then hook them over, and then put your last one onto 1 peg without dropping it like I just did. This one does not want to come on. Oh, there, got it. Yeah, try not to do that because you can ruin your whole bracelet just by dropping one near the end. Right, now you've got those on again. Pull them off onto the hook, and then get all the bands, pull them through like that. And then you can attach the other end of the S clip onto these bands. And then it's your finished bracelet. I used about 66 bands for this, but you can do according to your wrist size or whoever you're making for. But that's like a general thing for about 6-inch wrist. So yeah.